East Coast DNA. So I know we have, it says Deacon Day on the screen because Deacon was setting you boys up. And I know that we're doing a Dogs of Sun interview, but who do we have on the screen here today for everyone that's watching along?
Well, my name is John Scotto.
And I'm Matt Smith.
Hello, fellas. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
So, Dogs of Sun specifically was formed around 2015. That's correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, are you both original members then?
I am.
I am not.
Okay, so maybe we'll start with you then, if you want to tell a little bit about the origins of the band.
Sure. Me and the guitar player Mitch, we've known each other for years. I used to work in a bar. His bands would play there. He moved in next door one time, like as I was moving out of the place. But we've always known each other, and I started playing drums when I was like 30, and I wanted to play more drums. I was getting a little bit better, and he wanted to start a band, and he asked me if I'd like to play, and I started another band with my other friends, only Vultures Left, and we had a jam room. So both bands we'd share a room, and
We call it the Bird Pound.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like bird's nest and the dog pound. So it's the
yeah.
bird pound. But yeah, and then Mitch knew Sean. He plays bass in Dogs of Sun, and a guy named Nate. He was our original vocalist, and he left about. You've been in the band for almost 2 years.
I've been in the band for almost 2 years now.
Wow,
2 years this
time
August.
flies.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so here we are, still together, and looking to play more shows and do more material.
And did you find then going through those last 5 years, at the time when you were starting to get any traction, every band that had any traction at that point all of a sudden got stunted because of everything just happening around the world? And then things reopening again, that's when we started doing podcasting for these interviews.
Well,
Did
like I
you
think,
find that it there was a slump
well,
and
I think what happened is like the pandemic sucked for playing shows and stuff,
hmm
and the bands that deserved to come back stayed together and were playing and practicing and
yeah,
doing those rules and trying to get together and jam as like any way possible. Like we'd have jams where we were keeping apart from each other,
yeah,
like just hanging out back outside, like just um. So like the bands that stuck through all that, they they deserve to play now. Like so, it kind of weeded out a little bit of, you know, which unfortunate because there's a lot of people that were like good and good bands that stopped playing. But
sure.
I think that if you made it through that, and we just practice. We were prepping for shows, playing the same songs over. You could write. You could just. There's no stress of being. You're always preparing for a show. That
Yeah.
didn't happen. We're just like focusing on let's just jam, let's make music. So that's what I thought kind of happened.
And so, John, then you would have started in around that
Around
time
the
when
tail
things were
end of the
reopening.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I first joined, there was still like a lot of restrictions in place and everything like that. We could still only have like so many people in like rooms together and everything like
Well,
that. But thankfully, it worked out for us because we're only a four-piece.
the
hmm
first night that the pandemic, like when we were allowed to have shows, and it was our first show. Like it was that Friday night. It was
Yeah,
Dogs of Sun and Only Vultures Left. That was your first show with us, wasn't it?
yeah, that was my first show with
Yeah.
you
So
guys.
that's when Scotto kind of hopped on. Like once we were allowed to play shows again, we had a show booked, and yeah. So
Yeah, that we did. We prepped for that one real quick. I remember because I had just gotten back from extended stay at Prince Edward Island, and it was kind of like a bit of a trial by fire, just like rushing and like that. What did we have like 3 4 weeks before the show to
something like that.
after
Yeah.
like 5 months of like me not being there to jam and like that. But we not only did we do it, we turned out a whole new song in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's what I mean. Like you
Yeah,
have time to work on music.
yeah.
So
No, it forces you to adapt and everything like that, and it was a good opportunity, I think, for a lot of artists to kind of like hone their craft down and be like, well, I don't have
hmm
to worry about like, playing or anything like that. I'm not going to make any money, but maybe I can like, get some stuff written, maybe use what I'm feeling right now, this whole isolated world we all were living in at the time, and channel that into the music. And I think that we're seeing the fruits of that right now as far as a lot of people's work.
Yeah,
And
we're
you guys have quite a tight knit group up there in HRM. Like there is a number of bands that I see that are performing together and share jam spaces, and like you guys all kind of know each other.
it's like the six degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it's kind of like more like the 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon here, because seriously, we all know each other. We support each other. There was a while there where everyone kind of had that attitude, like we have to be the best band in the city. Like, it was like, oh, we're better than everybody else, and that's not the case anymore. I made that vocal to a couple people in the community when they're talking, and you hear people talk, and everyone can have valid opinions of what bands in the city like and what they don't, or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, just everybody needs to get. If we don't support each other, we don't have any other way to play shows. Like, you need to have a community, you need to have a network. And if we get asked to play a show in New Glasgow by guys that we know,
hmm
and we're like, we can't do it, we're like, but we know this other band that would go well.
Yeah.
And like, we help each other out, man. Like, that's how we got on Mikefest the first
yeah,
no, that was only Vultures Left. Don's
yeah,
son, this is actually the second year, but
Yeah.
Mikefest, Vultures, like, we didn't know anybody there. We just got recommended by my buddy Dave Burns, and we
hmm
went up and we played. And every year for 4 years now.
yeah.
This is the fourth year. Um, it's awesome. Just thrown out there, recommended by somebody, and now we have a solid gig every summer. So that's awesome.
And I,
And we bring more friends. Like
yeah,
everybody
that's what I
new
was
this year
noticing. It's more and
are
more
friends.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're bringing along some more of that scene and exposing them to Pictou County and Pictou County to them. So it's healthy
yeah, I
for
would
the
love to get
scene for
more
sure.
bands down here, right? And it's good to see more bands down here.
I like to
Hmm
say sometimes that a lot of people haven't heard their favorite band yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
So it's anytime like you get to show somebody something new and everything like that, and you just like see how people react to it and everything like that. And there's a satisfaction with seeing like other people doing well as yourself doing well. Like a lot of people want to be king of the hill, but like we
well,
like to think more about building a mountain
there's
kind
so
of
many
thing.
times like guys are just they meet and they're talking about story and they're sharing their opinions, and it's like you know you I played in like heavy metal bands, and you get tired of playing to the same 30 people once a month forever, right? Like, you want to go other places, and you're like, hey, well, you have that problem there, we have that problem here, let's switch it up, let's do double, like. And I like to do that more places. Like, I like to get up to Moncton and Fredericton, and I like playing in PEI, and it's cool, just do a little round trip, a little tour, two
I do
nights this
love to
week,
travel. The travel is
right?
fun.
And do you find now there's more opportunity to do that? Like I'm a little biased because of the fact that I'm doing these interviews all the time. To me, it seems like everybody's in a band and they're constantly finding opportunities. But I
Yeah,
know that's not necessarily reality, but is it easier at this point to find those
It,
opportunities?
it's easier now than it was about a year and a half ago. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
it's a little bit of opportunity and luck,
Yeah.
and just being friendly to people and hanging out, and not just showing up to the bar and playing and then leaving after you're done, and like hanging out. You if you don't network yourself, we don't have managers that are finding us gigs and promoting us. Like, we don't have any of that. So if all it takes is staying after a gig and meeting people and getting to know
hmm
everybody, that's a pretty cheap price to you know
Yeah,
promote
well,
yourself and network, right?
and it does, like, I mean, it helps everybody, but I have
Yeah.
noticed, once again, this may be a slightly biased perspective because I'm right here in Pictou County. And you mentioned Mikefest, and that was initially the reason that I reached out to you guys too, because we're doing a series of interviews here anyway. So when I was looking at that, I discovered that we also have the Mayhem Mountain going on here in Blue Mountain, which is,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
yeah, there's some of your friends are on that lineup there. So like that was a surprise to me, and I'm right here. Like that's not far of a drive from where I live.
Yeah,
And when we were talking to the Bloody Hell and Dally Van Gogh, they were talking about the Gutterfest.
Yeah, we're
I don't
doing
remember there
Gutterfest,
being this many.
Riverfest, and Mikefest.
What
And
was that? Sorry.
I don't remember that there being that many metal festivals around
There
back in the
hasn't been,
day.
not for a
Yeah.
very long
and
time.
people are just doing it. Like a lot of the festivals now, it's just like somebody's taking the chance. Like we literally showed up. We drove when I was with Vultures. It's like 35 minutes down a fire road in the middle of nowhere, like outside of Windsor, and we can't even get our GPS to work, and we're just giving coordinates. There's not even an address, and this is the middle of the woods. That's fucking death metal fucking concert, and we were the lightest band that weekend, and it kind of felt funny,
Yeah.
but people liked it. But man, that was wild. Like just showing up, just and it worked.
It's the people putting the effort in to organize the events, I guess.
Yeah, we
It's
can't.
people taking more chances.
We're all the adults now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah.
oh wait, this can happen.
Yeah.
We just have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like so that's a good mentality, and we're all making friends, right?
Yeah.
That's really good too. Like you
Plus, I
meet
think we're all
some cool
realizing
people.
that no one's going to do it for us, you know?
No.
Yeah. Well, and I've said, as far as like the networking and everyone being friends, I've acknowledged on this podcast before, when I talked about different genres in the scene, there's always a little bit of buzz about different cliques within different groups and everything. And I always found that metal in general, like metalheads, the people that are just into metal, do tend to disassociate with any other genre at some point. But nowadays, it seems like the people that I'm seeing out there playing are doing exactly like you're saying. The networking element to it, and then in churn, there's more people that are taking it in, and it seems like there's more of a merger. I don't see a lot of gender genre blending. Like that's
Gender
not
bending.
gender bending.
Yeah.
That
No,
there
no,
might be some. I do see some of
some
that.
of that, but it's all right, right?
Yeah.
It's good.
But when I'm noticing the people that are going to shows, it is a mixed bag now. And when I'm noticing who the bands are interacting with, it's a lot different than it used to be. Like it's not so much that there's two bands that know each other and they don't talk to anyone else. There's these whole big networks, like you're saying. Like I noticed the HRM ones, but now they're all through Pictou County, and Pictou County people are starting to bleed up into the city. So it's something happened during all that isolation where people kind of stepped out of their bubble a little bit
And
across
I think
all of this scene.
and I think too is like for a long time the scene in the city was like an older generation, right? Like
Mhm.
the right, and that's still going on, and it's awesome because they're actually like killing it. Like you go to Monty's on a weekend and they're doing the tribute nights, and like they're fantastic bands. Like it's they're really good musicians.
Yeah.
They're starting to realize that we're also bands and we're all getting older. Like I'm 40,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
We're not all
And we're
kids
all like,
anymore.
oh, we're the young guys, but no, we're not. But like it's just
I still feel young. I don't know.
oh well, I still feel young too. But I don't know. I used to work in a bar. I used to be listening to nothing but heavy metal, like death metal all the time. And I was working a concert. It was the darkest hour in Misery Signals. And it was like one of the heaviest concerts in a small club that I've ever been at. It was insane. And when they were packing up, they were listening to like Aqua and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that was kind of like, I like this song too. I'm allowed to like this song. So we're all getting old, right? We're all like,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? Guilty pleasures aren't guilty, any
Yeah,
pleasures
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
They're like, yeah,
Exactly.
I fucking like that shit. So
Yeah.
Also, I think people are allowed to be a little more complex with their tastes and everything like that. Like, 15 years ago, a lot of people were more about like, when I was in high school, at least, people either just listened to rap or just listened to country or
Mhm.
just listened to heavy metal. Now if like a lot of like, as you mentioned, genres getting blended and everything like that, and bands having to be forced to get more creative, because let's face it, every heavy metal song there ever is has already been written. Everything else is just variations.
Yeah, yeah.
well, yeah, there's only so much you can do, right? But
Well, there's only, but we all stand on the shoulders of giants, but that's the way it's always been. Um,
yeah, I mean, it's like different ideas, different thought processes.
And
yeah,
I
but
guess
like people are allowed, people are, feel free to express themselves, loving and devoting themselves to more than just like one kind of thing. So like people are just a lot more, I don't know whether it's consciously or subconsciously or whatever, just allowed to be more complex in their self-expression and what they like and everything like that. Plus, the shows are just fucking awesome and they're
Yeah.
worth going to. Whether I remember I was at a show after the Megadeth concert, and a lot of bands just got exposed to like Novichok and Holocaust, just to throw a
Okay.
couple bands out there. And like some of these kids had never seen like any of the local bands, and they were just like going wilder than they were like when they were inside
Can
of
I
Megadeth.
also say something that I find amazing? I was a new metal kid when I was in the late 90s, and I still like I got into heavier stuff in college, right? But it's making a comeback now. So like I
Mhm.
play bass in a Korn tribute band. And when we play shows, there's always like those like one or two young 19-year-old girls, and they're there with their boyfriend that doesn't want to be. He's like, I'm just taking my girlfriend here, but I don't know the music, and they love it. And now I'm seeing like kids dress it like I'm walking around I'm like this is like the 70s was for us, when the 90s now. So like the music, all these kids are coming back and they're seeing bands like
Novichok.
and Holocaust. They're like, what the fuck is this? Right? And that's amazing too. We're cool again. Right?
Yeah.
We're fucking cool again, man. And I'm gonna fucking own that shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well,
Right?
with digital media, people have the opportunity to just dive into anything. And back in the day, you'd have to hunt a CD down and drop 20-30 bucks because it was hard to get and they only had one at the store. And then you were
Yeah.
the guy that had that type of music. So that's your collection. And it
Yeah.
cost you a fortune and take a lot of effort. Like you had to really
Yeah.
want to go get it.
Yeah,
So-
and now like everything's like at the touch of a button. You're like, Alexa, play blah blah blah, and then
Yeah.
And-
Well,
Speaking of that, you guys would be on streaming services as well.
Yep.
So where would people most likely find your stuff? I know I've seen you on Bandcamp, so I would probably recommend people that go
Well,
there.
we're still kind of like kind of building our musical arsenal, so to speak. But we got like a few things on there. We got a couple recordings from the previous lineup, Eaten
Yeah.
Alive, and I think Burning Bridges is the other one.
yeah. I don't know. I think we took some of our stuff offline. I can't remember.
we have
But
we have two of the old stuff. We have our new singles, Skinwalker and Fall on Your Sword.
yeah, those are on Apple
Okay.
Music too.
Apple Music,
And
Spotify,
iTunes probably.
iTunes.
Yeah, but our guitar player Mitch takes care of all that, so I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, we're you got the two like least technically savvy.
I play in 3
members
bands
of
and I
the
have 2 kids under the age of 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Division of duties is important for
I play in
balance.
one band, but I'm in this band, but I'm just lazy. So
Fair enough.
You just not into that. Yeah.
So will there be any new recordings going forward? Do you have plans to do some?
Yeah, we have the third part of our EP is mostly done now. Dead
Yeah.
Butterflies.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Sean. Sean, our bass player, he's been taking a break, so he's gonna come back. We're gonna finish the song off, and then we're gonna release it as a package, and then yeah. So
and then work on the full album. Kind of starts from there, which we're hoping to have out
ooh, Smarties.
sometime in the next.
Who put Smarties there?
Blame Deacon.
Sitting there the whole time.
I want one of those.
We're hoping to have an album out by hopefully like I want to say the big end of this year, but more realistically, it will probably be like second quarter of 2004 ish.
Fair. And now it does sound like you have a somewhat busy schedule going for the rest of the summer because, as you mentioned, everyone in the band kind of has their fingers into different things and trying to balance your personal life with a band on the side.
Oh yeah,
But,
it can be a nice juggling
maybe
act.
I think I cut you off earlier when you started to say some of the upcoming shows. Maybe if you want to give a little rundown. I know I was looking on your website earlier and
That's
saw
all
you
you,
have
because I
quite a
don't know
few.
mine. Are they? I'd have to actually look that up.
I'll actually look this
I
up
know
because I don't have like
we're playing Riverfest and Mikefest, and we're playing this month at Gus's Pub, Vultures and Dogs of Sun with Feet Don't Fail Me.
Feet Don't Fail Me, who like kicked
on
ass as our opener.
The 23rd.
Yeah, 24th.
The 24th at Gus's Pub, and I think we have 1 or 2 shows in July, and then yeah.
Give me a second here. I'm going to talk to some. Thankfully, this can all be edited in post.
June 24th.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
June 24th. All right. So give me a sec here. Go ahead.
Like, well, I was actually having this conversation with someone today that I don't know when I have shows until somebody goes, "We got a show next week. Let's make a set list." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, good."
Yeah.
Riverfest, August 11th, 12th.
Riverfest,
August 11th and 12th. And this is all completely out of order.
August 13th.
August. Yep. No, Yarmouth has been canceled. Yarmouth got canceled. I mentioned that last jam. Sorry. But yeah, July 21st and 22nd, Gutterfest, Saturday, June 24th, Gus's Pub, and of course, Saturday, September 2nd at Mikefest, which is going to fucking kick ass. And we're also playing Metal Mayhem at Monty's show bar at the end of September.
Cool.
And we may have other stuff booked that I've forgotten about completely. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for when my memory kicks in.
So where should people follow you, just as far as like social media, or should they go to your
Facebook, and I
website?
think Mitch takes care of Instagram. So,
Okay.
but Facebook is probably the best place to get started, and there'd be links to other media platforms. So,
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna put some notes when I sit down eventually to edit all this together. I'll put some notes down in the description with a few links there for everyone as well. So if anybody watching this
Just
didn't
hold
take notes
screenshot.
as you went along, you'll,
Yeah, no worries.
you'll be fine. And most times when we have a guest on the show, we'll play out with a song. So I don't know if there's anything that you guys have available that you would like for us to give us.
Right now, we've just got the 2 singles, Skinwalker and Fall on Your Sword, as the publicly available ones. Skinwalker's
Skinwalker falling sword. I'm Skinwalker. You're falling the sword. Let's rock paper scissors for it.
all right.
Okay,
This is how
I'm
this is our
Skinwalker, I'm
very
Skinwalker.
thorough decision-making
I'm
process.
Skinwalker.
I'm Fall on Your Sword. Yeah.
Oh, fall on your sword.
There
Yeah,
we
I was
go.
hoping it would be Skinwalker.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, I guess it's Fall on Your
We've got to work on that honor system. So yeah, there you go.
Sword.
Skinwalker.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll play out to that, and as we get towards the end of the summer and Mikefest is coming up, if you guys have any more news or anything, reach out. We're going to try to continue a few more of these Power Hour episodes as long as
Oh, yeah.
possible too. So any updates along the way, I'm going to invite any of the bands that are guesting on here to provide updates as we continue on with the series.
Fuck yeah.
Sweet, awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Thank
no problem.
you.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk to you soon.
All
Talk to
right,
you soon, man.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
I am the one who
welcome to East Coast DNA. We have the Bomb Solid. I'm at their place.
The bomb shed.
Welcome.
So thanks for having me over. You guys are about to record your own show, your live stream.
Absolutely. We're about to record our Tuesday night, Toke Tuesday show, Let's Get Bomb Solid with the Bomb Solid every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, as you would say, Pictou time.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, fun. Thanks for coming over, man. This is great.
Yeah.
And you guys keep that going every Tuesday?
We've only missed a couple. Life events keep the couple of the other things from. Yeah.
We've gone.
There's only a handful. I can count on one hand with fingers left over. I think the amount of
Yeah.
Tuesdays that we've missed, though.
Yeah, I think we started in October of 2020, I believe.
Sounds
and
right.
Every week, and we missed maybe 5.
It was a
Wow.
COVID project for sure.
It's actually,
Born out of COVID.
out of all the different COVID projects, a lot of them didn't continue.
Yeah.
No, well, ours
So-
didn't continue at the level it sort of was at because everyone had to go back to work.
Sure,
so we
yeah,
lost,
yeah.
we lost our puppet and our production guy,
Yeah.
except for special occasions.
But it's still fun, and we're trying to get back there.
We're gonna get Brian and Danny in on a special episode or two here soon.
We got some ideas.
Awesome. So,
Is Nihilist Dave here? No, he's in the jam space. Sorry.
always hidden somewhere.
Yeah, he's in Hollywood.
So the Bomb Solid as a duo band, how long have you guys been at it as the Bomb Solid?
I
6 years?
I think the end of 2016 was
Yeah.
the last Machete show,
Wow.
and then it was moving forward with the Bomb Solid after that, and we released. We went to Sea Level
Oh,
Sound
that's right. Yes.
with Gord, and we recorded the first version of Beat It Till It Bleeds. And
Yeah. So that lyric video that's on YouTube, that's a different recording than the one that's on the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
different guests. The album version now has Hatfield with
Oh, yeah,
Woo Woo.
that's
The
right.
first one has Kyle Bannister.
right. It does.
Yeah, funny. And,
Time flies, man.
And John Raven.
Oh, he animated
Oh,
the video.
Raven
and
Media.
the painting is that he animated bits of is by Trevor Stanley, our pal Trevor.
Yeah,
There you go. Lots
Yeah.
of
Yeah. There you go.
local shout outs everywhere
lots
here.
of little tidbits. Yeah.
So, Eli, before we were recording, I mentioned that a lot of people that I've been introduced to in the heavier scene and maybe the HRM area were familiar with you as an individual.
Yeah.
So you would mention that maybe you would get in your start in around that scene.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a metal background musically. My first band was a metal band called Obscurity with friends, and first show we played a bunch of Deftones and Korn and stuff like that. But anyway, and it turned into there was nobody putting on shows around, so there was like people like me and Kenneth Cunningham and the list goes on, Jarrett Tree, who kept on just putting on our own shows, and it kind of turned into booking a lot of metal bands from Halifax, and then later on, like the Victory Records scene from like Guelph, Ontario, Arise and Ruin, Farewell to Freeway, Kill the Last Hour from Arizona, like all over the place, anyone touring through. But from that, booking bands like Collapse and Holocaust and shit like that kind of got me involved in the Halifax metal scene. And I played through high school, I played in a metal band called Strip the Soul, and we did the pavilion thing and
Yeah.
all that. And yeah, so yeah, it's always been a metal lives on.
So based on that history, you're probably about 16 years old now.
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah,
Perpetually.
perpetually. Yeah, that first round of shows was the first show that I played at was at the Pictou Youth Center, Noise Pollution 2000. I was 13,
Awesome.
and yeah, that was Obscurity. Yeah, so then it went on from there, and then the scene through like the North End Rec Center and the Trent Youth Center and Drummond Road Eric Cadet Hall. Like every weekend there was fucking cool bands playing.
That particular era, there was all ages shows everywhere all the time for like 2 or 3 years solid.
Yeah, 2001 to 2005 was just banging. Cool scene. Met a lot of cool people in that scene locally.
And where did Mike come in as far as you guys playing together?
Well, you can,
Yeah. Well, when we started Machete with Ash, when did we start Machete? I lose track of time.
2010, I think. 2010,
So
2011.
yeah, me and Ash hooked Ashley George, our pal Ashley, if you know Ashley George, hooked up to do like an acoustic duo type of thing. at the local pub, the Press Room, which isn't there any longer, and just sort of built a friendship. And he always had his band Beyond Ash, his rock band Beyond Ash. Before that. And he's such a punk rock skater guy. Like, fuck, dude, how have you never had a punk band? Like, it's always been like Beyond Ash wasn't a punk band; they were just a heavy rock band, you know.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, fucking, let's do it. And we immediately thought of Eli because Thursday night jams.
Yeah.
And I think the first song was "Lies a Lie."
I think you're probably right.
But yeah, I met Eli at the Thursday night jams at the tavern, which are a staple of Pictou existence. Living in the town of Pictou, if you're a musician, you walk down to the jams.
Those are two things that I'm glad I was a part of. The Press Room, as a whole, just that venue. I was talking about it today to some 19-year-old I was working with.
Oh man, so many
the
fun
Press Room?
nights.
He says, wow, let me tell you. But
Wild.
anyway, and Thursday night jam, they're just musical staples.
The Thursday night jam in Pictou was a staple started by Mark Weatherby and then continued by Albert Donewald and others later on as it fizzled out. But those two guys especially. But that's how you meet other musicians, man.
Yeah, and I was like, I started jamming with you guys at the Press Room a little bit, but when the Machete seed first spawned, when I knew Ashley, I assume when you and Ashley started the conversation, I was still living in Vancouver, and
you had just moved home because him and I were playing a party.
Yeah.
We were playing a house party out in fucking Caribou, and you had just started coming to the jams, and that's like this dude fucking he's perfect.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, those jams are fun, and that was at a time where like you had to sit down for weeks. I sat at the jams for weeks and just watched people play. I didn't get a turn for like 3 months. There's so many jammers, man. I had to compete
And like
with,
heavy hitters too, like that
like
bullshit jammers.
Chris McFarlane would be there, like,
The real guys.
like and John Muirhead would be just fucking ripping, and Keogh and all the boys, like, you know,
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
A lot of musicians that are still going at it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Staples of the scene.
yeah.
And so nowadays, since we're in Pictou right now, we have actually had a couple conversations on this podcast about venues with different artists.
Yep.
So you'd mentioned about like the Press Room not being a thing anymore. The Highlander's not a thing anymore.
No.
Oh,
So is there venues in Pictou right
In
now?
the town of Pictou, I think Tony does stuff at one of his places, but I'm not
yeah.
sure.
But for like a venue for like rock shows and stuff, or like a metal
No.
show, nothing like
Yeah.
nothing like
Like
we're,
Signal Hill plays at Fat Tony's, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, our boys Frail played at Fat Tony's. I don't know how
Yeah.
that went.
Okay.
Frail did play there, and Andre and the Pet Upon the Giants are going to be playing there soon.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you
So
go.
so
It's not-
Fat Tony's for the
I guess
artists that have been asking me where to look in Pictou.
I guess
and
so.
Nook and Cranny has a place now.
Nook
that-
and
Oh,
Cranny.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the stage apparently is unchanged from the Relic days. It's like that size stage, so you could fit like a small band
okay.
up there.
Do you guys have any inside information on what they're developing beside? They're clearing a space. I'm assuming outdoor stage, but I don't know that.
No,
I haven't
uh,
even seen it. I haven't.
They posted
I actually don't live in Pictou right now
There
anymore.
you go.
I am no longer.
Johnner.
Yeah, I'm back to River John.
But they made us a post on Facebook the other day with like, can you guess what it is?
Yeah.
Like of the area of work being done. Is it a patio? Is it a stage? Like,
It seems to me like it would be obvious to have at least a place to sit outside, and if you're going to have music, why not have the music out there too? But
Yeah.
completely just making it up. I have no idea.
Can't wait to see.
Yes, very exciting.
not having the Highlander during the Lobster Carnival is going to be weird.
Game changer,
Yeah.
man.
Game changer, and that was it was a packed house, and it hasn't been the same for a while, but still, more Highlander.
But now, Mike, you actually work at Shoebox. So
That's true.
Shoebox has been a great venue for people to perform at, and you guys have
gosh, yeah.
played there as the Bomb Solid a couple times now.
We
I
have,
believe.
yeah.
One of my favorite places in the county, hands down. With their food, their musical atmosphere, their staff.
Good vibes.
Great vibes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a
Dandy.
good packed house there is a good time, but there's still enough room to kind of get around and socialize if you want to. So I do like that. Obviously, more tickets sold would be better for the bands.
Of course,
So
yeah.
the bigger the better that way. But it is nice to have a more intimate feeling regardless of who's performing too.
Yeah, and there was a band called Claverhouse that played there. They're from one person. They're a duo. Half is from Ontario, half is from Sydney, Cape Breton, and they left their show and they were like they played with our friend Alex Bridgman.
Oh, yes.
But anyway, they left there like this venue is a performer, a musician's dream venue. Like they were treated so nice, they couldn't believe it how well it sounded. And like a guitar string broke and immediately somebody is grabbing the guitar off the stage and fixing it and giving like during their song,
Amazing,
like
right? Luxury.
taken care of, man.
Yeah, musicians running it probably.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it
By
makes a big
musicians
difference.
for musicians.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
their logo or slogan.
But you guys are still connected with your HRM contacts too. I see you do some performances up in that area as well.
Yeah, we love that scene, man. Especially the Gus's pub scene.
Yeah,
It's a staple of the Halifax scene. It has been since when? The '60s.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
always a cool place to play, and
It's just our style, man.
yeah, our vibes. And there's our friend CJ Hill. He's in like Electric Spoonful and a few other bands. He's the new like manager of that place. And as good as the scene, like the musical booking was there before, it kind of like took a step up. Like he's like really taking it seriously and
Yeah,
put some
dude's
good
cool.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, I had a conversation
point.
not long ago about the fact that a lot of people mention his name too.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a great
always
guy.
good
Yeah.
things.
and
You
then-
want that guy in your scene, right?
Yeah.
You need a guy.
yeah, and yeah, he's bringing back Rockin' for Dollars.
Shut your
It's coming to
filthy
Gus.
little
That's
mouth.
exciting.
It's coming to Gus's
That's
pub.
exciting. I was
So,
just talking about that recently.
We'll be there very soon because those
Ooh,
shows are
well,
fun.
I like rocking for dollars.
Hell yeah, spin
Shit,
the
I mean,
wheel,
I'll
baby.
rock for favors.
Even better.
I've rocked for less.
I rock just because I do.
And so I also just saw you guys play at the opening for, speaking of Ashley George, the Pictou skate park that just opened.
Oh yes,
there.
what a fantastic thing.
Oh, so good. Great park and labor of love. Man, he worked on that for a lot of people worked on that for a long time.
Yeah,
but goddamn.
He kept that fire going, man. Holy cow! It's a beautiful park, and we
Yeah.
had a fantastic day. I got my first sunburn of the year. It was It was really good.
Yeah.
My neck is still a little crunchy.
Still peeling. Yeah, there was hundreds of kids there throughout the day.
Oh, my nose was all peeled.
Yeah, I didn't make the full day there, but I caught your set.
Nice.
And it was a beautiful day too. So I mean, it
Perfect.
was perfect timing for
I
it.
mean, it's typical that when you plan something outside, chances are weather's not going to work in your
Wah,
favor,
wah.
but that could have been better.
Yeah. So, did you guys have new material that's coming out too? Because I've seen you play more frequently lately.
We do, and we're keeping it to ourselves.
For
We got,
Toke Tuesdays.
No, we're keeping it for. We're gonna go in to the Shoebox Studios actually in
Cool.
the beginning of July and demo this little first round of songs.
That's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
Probably got about
And-
half the album.
I would think, yeah.
Exciting.
And probably the rest of it just in riffs on my phone.
Yeah.
Intended to get down the line, you know.
Noodles.
And the material you have out now, you can get on Bandcamp. Probably all
Yep.
of the catalog on there?
Everything, the
All
whole
the
works,
places,
even
yeah.
the Christmas album
Yep.
EP.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have our full-length album. We have a Christmas EP, and we have 4 singles, I believe. There's Resurrection Man, You Can't Tell Me, Super Sweat, and Klang, King of the Rim Room.
Holy shit, man! We put out a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with the memory
I'm surprised.
to rhyme them off.
What
with
is
them.
that next one? I don't know what he's gonna say.
They were coming off like Harry Mack, baby. They're
Hey, back. Let's go.
off the top of the dome.
And so, for anyone watching that doesn't already know your sound,
Yep.
we've got like a drum and bass duo.
Drum and bass duo. Yeah.
So the sound, we've already kind of alluded to it. I guess the Eli came up through more of a metal scene, so I can hear where some of the drum styles coming from. But now, Mike, yourself, what's your background coming
Different
into
metal
that?
scene.
It's not the same.
yeah. I mean, I'm sort of omnivorous musically. I mean, my playing career has been sort of in the the world of singer-songwriters and folk trios and country music and that kind of thing. Until Machete. Well, no, there was a rock band called Windsor Salt way back when.
Oh,
with
there
Scott
you go.
Linda Coast and Steve Keogh.
There's some names.
Yeah, there's that's 90s.
I have some MP3s of those on a Google Drive.
Oh
actually,
dear, there's
yeah.
2 songs that I played on. We did. There were 4 songs for the local motion compilations. If you
Mm-hmm.
remember those, there's 1 and 2, and I'm on the second one with Windsor Salt.
I have one of those. I don't know which one of those. I'll have to look when I get home now.
No. There do exist like garage demos of the rest of the songs, and they were good songs, man. It was a good band.
I feel like a lot of people lost. I know a handful of people just personally who lost a lot of music when the MySpace servers went down.
Yeah.
Because for ages, like up until
Yeah.
like a year ago, but maybe a little bit longer, MySpace wasn't a thing, but all the shit was still there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just went blank. All the names, song names, and stuff are there, but there's no guts. So
That reminds me, I used to have a band called the Rhubarb Kings with Chris and Scott McFarlane. The little trio was like we had like 3 sort of demo songs on fucking MySpace, man.
MySpace,
Good.
that's right.
I repurposed one of them for the new one with the cowbell. I repurposed that riff out of an old Rhubarb Kings song.
That's hilarious.
And as far as like we're naming a lot of people, so like Chris and Scott McFarlane. It's Chris McFarlane's the drummer for Great Big Sea.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
yes.
Scott was in Sandbox, like one of the biggest bands out in
That's
Glasgow.
true, yeah.
Like, so I think just about every name that you guys have mentioned during this whole conversation is either currently in a band or is at least known out there.
I'm gonna have to after this is released. I'm gonna listen back and write down how many name drops did we get.
Yeah.
Oh, you want name drops? Well, let me tell you about the time.
Just pull them off my sleeve.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit! I was gonna say something.
It's an impressive resume, though.
Yeah. Like I mean, there's tons of musicians, like great musicians around here. It's just per capita.
Yeah, our
like,
county is full of fucking wicked cool people that play.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, you guys are also in East River Rats, so
Yep.
we'll have to.
true.
That's probably worthy of a whole separate interview because there's probably
shoot,
a lot to
yes.
unpack there.
Yeah.
The boys would be down for that for sure.
Yeah, because there was also just recently new stuff recorded there as well.
There's
So
there's a brand new East River Rats album available wherever you stream your streams.
Awesome.
Streams. It came out on St. Patrick's Day, and it's called "The Year of the Rat." And there's also a single from that album called "Red Roddy" available on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Great, a fun video.
Yeah, Jinx.
Yeah.
That's our friend who's now in the band, Danny Harvey, who's a videographer, a fantastic videographer. He produced the video, and it's fun.
So you have a busy summer then. You've got 2 bands that are on the go. Now, we mentioned Ashley George at least twice during this conversation, and he's a friend as well. So I do want to mention that 2 shows that are going on in Pictou this summer that you can get free tickets for right now. Beyond Ash is playing, so that's a little bit of a reunion.
A little throwback there, yeah.
And Ashley's also playing with Kitchen Criminals. Right. And he did just play Shoebox. As of this recording, I think it was just last night, he played Shoebox as a solo.
Oh, did he? I didn't know.
He did on Further Music Monday, yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
So does that indicate maybe that Ashley's going crazy and he wants to bring Machete back at some point? Is there any talks about that?
Well, we did do one little surprise birthday party gig for an old Halifax friend.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then and so with that came a rehearsal and lots of big talk about remember that album full of songs that we had that we never did anything with, and just that was fun. Why don't we do this some more?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's potential there, and that's another band
there's a
that gets
desire
mentioned
to
a
make,
lot.
make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of songs that haven't been recorded, and they should be.
And also, we were like, Jesus, fuck, these are good tunes. Like we were like, there's so much energy, and they just fucking rock, and it was a good band. It was a good goddamn band.
Yeah, we kind of worked hard on that project, and we grinded, man. Fuck, we grinded a lot around the scenes.
Both of those are the Machete albums are on Bandcamp, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both up there.
The Machete album and the Harvey Doan EP are both on Bandcamp. Yeah,
soon to be on streaming networks as well, because they should be.
They might as well be. Yeah.
You need some kind of a cross-promotional music video or something that has the mannequin at Harvey.
Yeah.
And your puppet as well.
So Nihilist Dave, yeah.
Yeah, you need to do some
there
kind
we
of
go.
crossover.
Maybe
with the two of
Nihilist
them.
Dave needs to meet Harvey Doan. Holy
Dude,
shit.
it'd be like a boxing poster, like.
Do an episode with no real people in it. Just a full episode.
Yeah, if everyone watching, go back and click it, Bomb Solid in YouTube and go watch a lot of season 1 of our show. You'll see lots of wacky, fun puppet stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of it's puppet heavy in season 1.
It's very fun. Cool characters and just lots of silliness. But yeah.
And so, in the future, anyone that's watching this today, you're new to them and they want to keep up to date with what's going on in the Bomb Solid camp, I know you're online. Is the Toke Tuesdays the most up-to-date information? Is that the best way to get you guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, follow.
Come hang out in the bomb shelter with us every Toke Tuesday, 8 o'clock.
We talk about everything that's going on and then some. And just follow our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Yeah, we're on all the usual places. We're the only Bomb Solid.
Yeah.
You know how to use the internet.
And I recommend that when people are looking on Bandcamp, I'm guilty of not doing it always myself, but there's a follow button on Bandcamp as well,
Yeah.
and then you get
Oh.
updates when there's new releases and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
Very
very
nice.
helpful as far as keeping up to date with what's going on out there.
Bandcamp's awesome, man, and there's a lot of Bandcamp loyal people that only because they want to support artists and they know artists get
Yeah.
actually get the get
And they do their specials on Fridays.
Yeah, the Bandcamp Fridays
Yeah,
with money
yeah.
goes to the artist. Yeah,
and
no, it's great.
even when it's not, they only if you sell a $12 album, they take like fucking 90 cents.
Yeah,
Something
see, that's
like,
nice.
So it's all
Yeah.
going to the artists.
Definitely more going directly to the people making
Yeah.
the music that way. So we always support it on here. I know the Jam Sessions podcast, when I was doing that, we always supported on there. And
Yeah.
most of the musicians I talk to have a good profile set up in Bandcamp and all their materials there. So
Yeah, and it's good. You can set up a store, and it's it's easily accessible. It's all there. You know.
I actually wish I thought of it more in my daily music listening.
Yeah.
and as far as store, you guys have merchandise as well. I know I have one of your
We
t-shirts
did.
at home.
We have a new order coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
new
good stuff.
new
So-
material, new merch.
Yeah.
Follow these guys online.
Yeah, we'll have some show announcements coming up soon, and with those show announcements will come some merch orders, and we're gonna.
Do we have any Bomb Solid shows coming? I think we did them all, didn't we? They're all East River Rats stuff coming up now,
No, we
isn't
got.
it? Well, there's Mikefest in September.
Yeah, we got
September
some things
2nd.
happening in July. We could probably talk.
my
We could
God.
probably.
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
that's
it.
well, yeah. I guess
It wasn't announced yet, but we're kind of. I guess we can talk about it. We're heading back to St. John's.
You heard it here first.
that's
You heard it here first. Yeah.
the scoop.
It's not a secret. They're just finalizing the lineups and stuff like that. But we're going to be in St. John's, Newfoundland, making our return since before COVID. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, wow.
Awesome.
July 27th and 28th at the Deck during the George Street Festival.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great time to be there for sure.
Yeah, we actually played there once before in that time, and it's just a fucking wild time. It's good.
Yeah.
And we've played there with Machete and just with Ashley and with the Bomb Solid. So over the last since like 2016 or 15 or whatever the first time we went over, we've developed a good network of people and
Yeah.
some good friends, and yeah, it's always
Cool
a good
little
time.
city, man.
Yeah.
That's
Little
awesome.
place.
That's something I did not know. I know you guys more locally, so
Yeah.
I didn't know that you had established a little bit of a presence over there. We do have some Newfoundland followers, so
Oh, sweet.
anyone over there that's watching this, check these guys out for sure.
Hell yeah.
You will not be disappointed. And is there a song you would like to play out with for anyone to hear?
Kling Klang King.
Might as
That's
well.
the most recent.
Yeah, the
latest
last
single.
single you had out there.
It's a banger. I love that song. I love the where you got the
Oh, then it's a Nicholas it's a Nicolas Cage line. Was it from Leaving Las Vegas? Yeah, on the Kling Klang King of the Rim Ram Room.
I did not. I can hear it now that you're saying it. I
There's
did not
another
pick it
line
up when
where
I first heard it.
He falls into a glass fucking. He's at a hotel. He's drunk. He's drinking himself to death. He falls into this glass coffee table. He jumps up. He's just fucking covered in glass, little through his face. I'm a prickly pear. It's like one of those type of moments. Like he gets the shit beat out of him. I'm the Kling Klang King of the Rim Ram Room.
embracing a terrible time.
That's right. Yeah, winning even when you're a loser.
I love that. Yeah.
Great words to leave on. And everybody stick around for a couple minutes and listen to a song from the Bomb Solid. And we'll see you again soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys.
I'm broke fatter than piss on a platter, but I don't care, so it don't matter, baby. Ooh, no internal revenue, but I'm the Kling Klang King of
Welcome to East Coast DNA Power Hour. We've got only Vultures left, so I don't know if we're missing some members from the band, but we definitely have a special guest in the mix there today.
Chewy Lewis.
Yeah, this is Chewy. No, we have everyone here, all four of us, plus Chewy.
Awesome. So maybe if everybody just wants to give a rundown, I know there's some overlap with the Dogs of Sun interview, and so if you just want to give a rundown on who everyone is and what you do in Only Vultures Left.
We'll start with Deacon.
Yes.
Deacon Day, I play bass.
And you're the tech wizard for everybody in your metal
Yeah,
scene there.
apparently, yeah. I do some video and some lights and whatever sound stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fredric, guitar and vocals.
I'm Matt, bass or drums, bass, no drums. This band.
Tommy Worthen, guitar.
All right, so thanks for giving us your time there, boys. Now, do you guys have some maybe some Pictou County connections that you could go into a little bit there?
Fred and I grew up in Pictou County. Yeah. We've
Okay.
known each other since grade 5. We grew up in Trenton together.
Yeah.
Have been lifelong friends, and we're still doing our thing now.
And there's the connection to Mikefest, but are you guys also on the lineup for Mayhem Mountain as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is we're gonna have a little follow-up interview about Mayhem Mountain there as well with the organizer up there. So that's going to be just as exciting for me because I know very little about it. I recognized a couple names on the lineup, and I know Blue
Great
Mountain's
lineup
fairly
this year.
handy.
Well, I think is it their first year?
I think it is.
Yeah,
I know
they got a really good lineup.
Yeah, a few people in the area know the organizer that have mentioned to me that he knows a few people and has done some things in the past, but it's all new to me. So I think it's first year for that, 6th year for Mike's, but it's Mike's Mikefest is probably the biggest event that he's held yet.
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
played that the last three years. I think this will be
Yeah.
our 4th year.
It's our favorite show of the year.
Yeah,
So how long have you guys been together as a band?
10 plus.
Yeah.
Since I moved home, which is about 10 years. Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah,
I've been with them about 2 years.
I did get a few local people in the Pictou area had mentioned you before, just because of some family relations and whatnot, and some friends of friends, and people were like, Darcy, you'd probably like this band from Halifax, and that's you guys. So there you go. So you guys are definitely in the heavier range for some of the bands that we have on our episodes. I do know that there's a little bit of a Alice in Chains influence maybe mixed in there.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Alice in Chains, Nirvana, all the grunge.
We
Yeah,
just
that's what
write
you're in
songs,
an
and
era.
just play them the way that it comes out. Like we're just, our influences just show, but we just write songs and play them heavy and
Sounds like 90s.
sounds like the 90s. Yeah.
Who else is in other bands from the group then? Like I mentioned, we had a little bit overlap with Dogs of Sun, but is everybody in different bands or?
No, just
I
Deacon and
play with Dogs of Sun, and Deacon's filling in for our bass player Sean for a few shows.
Okay.
And so yeah.
Well, and they got 13
Yeah.
nonstop action.
I also play in Nonstop Action, Brass Antlers, and at some point 13 we'll be doing some shows.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
And
So
I also play in a Korn tribute band, Ball Tongue. I play bass in that band.
awesome. So how do you keep all of that separated as you kind of juggle it?
Yeah.
Scheduling.
Yeah.
Lots of scheduling.
Yeah.
Growing up, learning how to make commitments, and
Multitasking.
scheduling. Only Vultures left. We had work things happen, so we used to jam Thursday nights. And Thursday nights, you're tired, so we were like, the time that we have is Sunday morning. So sometimes we're there at 8:30, 9, 10. So it's we
In
just
the morning.
in the morning.
Yeah, we jam in the morning.
So
on
we're
Sundays
just
now.
committing to anything, and that's a great time, right? You're fresh, no rush to get in or out. And so yeah, just being flexible.
And so for only Vultures Left specifically, we mentioned a couple festivals coming up, but what's the summer ahead looking like? Is there a lot of
We have a couple
performances?
Yeah, we have a couple Gus's shows. We have Riverfest. We have Mayhem Mountain,
Mikefest.
Mikefest. Yeah, last year we were busy almost every weekend. We had 2 weekends off last summer. This time we're not so like pushing ourselves, but the shows that we've chosen are like quality, awesome shows.
Yeah,
And is
last year, because we're all different projects, like
Yeah.
within 2 months I played 18 shows, and
Wow.
one time it was 4 shows in 2 days, so like that's a lot.
Yeah,
Plus
yeah.
I have children and a job, and so we're not getting paid lots of money to do this, so that's a lot for right. Yeah,
We're not bored.
We're not- yeah. So, but
tired.
we strategically planned this year to pick good shows and work, kind of
Bye,
focus,
Chewy.
make
Bye,
the,
Chewy.
make the shows that we're gonna play count.
Yeah.
And work on some performance and like a show instead of just banging out trying to every show you can, because that can get tiring and fatiguing, and it's not worth it in the long run.
So with that kind of hectic schedule for everybody, because everybody's balancing their personal lives with the band and the other music projects that they're involved in. So do you guys even have any time to be doing recording over the next few months, or do you have any plans to release new stuff?
We have like
Yeah,
kind of news that we haven't told anybody really yet. You're kind of like maybe the first interview we've talked about it, but we just recorded 2 weekends ago.
Oh, cool.
And we did a live off the floor album, or EP we'll be releasing at some point soon. Hopefully we can take it to the shows with us.
Awesome. That would be really cool.
Yeah, we would like to release it before the festival, so then that way that people have something to listen to before we play it.
Some hype, some pump,
Yeah.
Advertising.
And it's a thicker sound than our albums, because the albums were recorded to be albums. This sounds more like our live show, so it's bigger and louder, and there's more fun sounds in it. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a good album.
So what type of, is there a difference between the old and the new, that because of like member changes or because of just
experience and trying different things every time? Like the first time we recorded an album, I wasn't playing the drums for more than 4 years. We paid, we went to a studio to record the drums, but we recorded all the guitars ourselves with the interfaces. Like we did it real cheap. Second album, we went to Sonic Temple. We did that. It was great. It was a step up, right? But then I found with drums, like with recording with other bands, I would like to be more comfortable. And the studio that we recorded at was very comfortable, and it felt more like we were having fun. Then you're like, shit, this guy has a lot of credentials, and this is an expensive studio, and it has to be perfect. And then it shows that you were thinking that in the recording to me. And this recording doesn't sound like that. This one just sounds like we're just jamming really well and having fun.
It sounds way
So-
We recorded in this studio.
We're embracing the
Awesome.
flaws as well, and it's great, right? So
Yeah,
Kind
this
of
EP
a-
sounds so much better than anything we've recorded.
And do you think that's because of a little bit more of the DIY hands-on, like you're talking about, as far as your environment and the equipment and everything? But is it
A little
or
bit.
do
Yeah,
you
we have more
control?
control. We have more control over our actual sound. And we went with
we had a
the
lot more control.
yeah, we went with the sounds that we use on stage,
Mhm.
the things that we're comfortable with, what we use in the jam room. So it came out really well. Like we were tight. We had to do a couple of songs a couple times, but yeah, it came out really tight, really fun and loud and big, and it represents us a little better as a live show.
And is there anything from the other members of the band? Like, is there anything that you guys were going for a different sound here, or it's just that you wanted to get that more organic kind of live
it's
sound?
natural,
yeah.
more not. Yeah,
Awesome.
like in the studio, it'd be like that. That tempo's too fast. This is too slow. Or
Yeah.
do this with your drums, and like just suggestions that you take
Mhm.
because you're in a studio and you're listening to somebody, but then the product isn't what you had in mind, because right. But this way, it's like
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm playing this way I
Well,
want.
I-
They're gonna use their pedals. They're not gonna
Yeah.
not use the like. It's just more control.
I
more,
felt the first two albums that we did and recorded, it was more of a learning experience than anything else other than knowing what we wanted. And I felt like after we did the first two albums, when I listened to them, I was happy with them, but it still wasn't the sound of us when we would play live. So we wanted to capture that feel. And maybe we should have done that prior to this, but better late than never. So I think this one's gonna, when people hear it and see us live, they're gonna be like, well, that's it. Like that's the sound. And I was looking for that sound for a while, and we finally found it with this. And I think the trick was comfort, using your own gear that you wanted for your sound, have more control, and just the light atmosphere. In this studio, I felt it was a lot more comfortable and friendly environment, not as
Pro.
pro being
pro,
pushed. It
but-
is pro, but it's not being pushed on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt the other two albums that we did, it was like somebody with a lot of experience saying you should do it like this.
Yeah.
And it
the visions didn't come out the way
Yeah.
that we have.
Yeah.
So
it was
this way
somebody else.
was
But this
how
is
we
all
want.
us. This is us. So
This
Much
studio,
better.
this studio is owned by Mike McDougall, and he's a great engineer. He's just so easy to listen to you. He, as far as suggestions go, it's got more to do with tone and frequency rather than what you're gonna do with your gear. So it works.
Yeah,
a
I think
little
he
better.
like we just got him to listen
just
to
listened
us.
to us.
Listen to us a
Yeah.
couple. We were like, "Where's the jam? Have a little jam," and you just sit there and listen, and then he knows where to go from there, right? Like he gets it
Awesome.
instead of yeah.
So do you find that type of vibe kind of reflects when you play somewhere like Gus's? Because it's kind of your hometown advantage area, but everybody sort of has their venues that are their little home venue too. So
Mike
I do know
Fest.
you guys play there a lot.
Mikefest and
Mike
Gus's.
Fest. Mike Fest and Gus's. Mike Fest is the best.
Yeah.
That's
Even
that's the one that we look forward to every year.
It gets bigger every year.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets bigger every year. With Mikefest, we're
Better
still
bands.
using their gear,
Yeah.
so
Well,
it's a bigger version of us. But
It was
with
the
Gus's,
first. It was the first time that I ever went in any band and didn't know anybody. There was no friends there.
Yeah.
You know, and we made fans. We got recommended by a friend who's knew Mike, and he recommended us to play. And the next year we came up, and people lost their mind. Like they remembered us. They like people were getting CDs. We were signing stuff.
We've always been really
people,
welcome.
people
there.
know our songs. They sing along.
They request
And they
songs,
know the
yeah.
names of the songs and which
it's
ones
cool.
like that was the first time I ever felt that, and I still get that feeling every time I go up there that
Mike Fest.
that they actually listen to us, like and we listen to them, and they like that's great.
Did you have a hard time adjusting between playing a smaller venue, so it's kind of a more compact, closed-in environment, to going into that more festival environment where you could have a bigger
That's
crowd
awesome
in a
with
wider
the
space?
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just fun. Yeah, I just,
Yeah,
I love it.
get more
It's
more
all
space,
about
Yeah,
more
smaller
space to
venue.
run around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
find
yeah.
that.
Bigger stage.
Mike Fest stage
There's
is
a lot-
big.
there's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
like
of
it. Yeah.
I find it harder to see the crowd at a festival from behind the drum kit, so
I suppose.
I'll mostly just see everyone's asses and fog and lights in my face. So I'm pretty comfortable back there.
And are you guys I know there's a lot going on over the summer, but is the Mike Fest, are you guys, was it a little bit later into the lineup this time around?
No, we're kind of in the middle. We're like
Yeah.
5:30.
Yeah,
Oh,
5:30,
perfect.
5:45. We're like right at
We're
summertime.
summertime.
Everyone's eating. Everyone is gonna see us. It's gonna be great.
And I was gonna say, even the people that are Mike's not gonna like me mentioning this, but there's another festival that same weekend, about 15-20 minutes up the road.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
Another
go to
music
that one.
festival.
go to ours.
Which
But-
festival is that though?
But you guys could still catch you guys. People could catch you guys and then head up to Giant Stock.
Oh yeah, sure. Who's
Yeah.
playing that? What is it?
Now.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
no,
Yeah, we-
no, don't
No,
tell
yeah,
me.
no.
No. Yeah, tell me later.
Talk about Mike Fest.
Yeah. I think
Everyone come to Mike Fest.
Mike Fest is the 1-day event, and Andre Petitpas and the boys have the other show that's a couple days.
Well, that's a pretty big difference.
People go catch Mikefest, crash there for the night, and get up, and then go catch what's going on at the other festival when they get up the next day. There they go.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna stay overnight at Mike's. We're gonna camp. We always do that every year.
Sell some merch.
Yeah, sell some merch. Just hang out with everybody, have a lot of fun, and then everybody kind of does their thing the next day.
And
Yeah.
Music Mountain kind of lends itself to kind of that a little jam or a campfire or something at the end of the night too, with those
That's
type
usually-
of
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
there's
usually
usually
what
a
they
couple. Yeah.
and on-site camping. I think again this year, so there should be a lot of people hanging
Oh, yeah.
around into the wee hours of the night. Do you guys have a practice going on in the background there?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
jam.
There's a band jamming downstairs.
Yeah, we're in a
studio.
studio, so there's somebody else recording or playing. And yeah.
What band is it in the background?
I don't know if they actually have a name yet. It's one of, I live in this house, and it's
Yeah.
one of my roommates. They've reformed a band. They used to be Matahari.
Okay.
They've reformed recently, so.
Oh,
I think
there
they
you
got
go.
a couple more members, and yeah, they're working
Yeah,
stuff out.
last band was Jimmy Swift. I mean, like Mike,
Yeah, Mike McDougal's from Jimmy Swift, so they jam here too. Jimmy Swift band.
Oh,
There's
there
a
you
bunch
go.
of bands that jam here. Alert the Medic. There's a few.
Oh, cool. I definitely have. I have some signed albums from a couple of those sitting here in the
Oh, nice.
background.
Good for you.
Cool.
I'm not prepared with the props to pull them out for camera, but
Oh, that's all right.
That's okay.
they're in the
I believe
background in
you.
that pile there somewhere. Anyway.
Nice.
Well, I think we'll let them have a little bit of the airtime there in the background because the noise starting to get a little overwhelming there. But for anyone that's watching this that wants to follow you guys online, obviously the Mikefest tickets, people can go buy those so they can see you. But where should they follow you to see what's going on the rest of the summer, or maybe catch some of those Gus's shows?
Facebook's probably the
And
best
social
bet.
social medias. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Facebook's the major one.
Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we're always on Facebook. Like we talk to people all the time,
Mhm.
people that write on our posts, but we usually keep everybody updated with our shows coming up.
Awesome. And if we
Yeah.
can insert a song in here from your catalog to play off, what would you like people to hear that are new to the band?
All right.
Yeah, let's go with I Lie. You
Awesome.
can find I Lie's on Spotify. And we redid that one on the new Live Off the Floor as well.
and
Oh, cool.
everybody should come to our show next Saturday.
This Saturday coming, the 24th, Gus's
Dogs
Awesome.
Dogs
Son
of Sun and Vultures.
and Vultures at Feet Don't Fail Me. And they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
band, too.
perfect.
So yeah.
Awesome lineup and perfect timing. So people can go out and catch that right away
Yeah,
Yeah.
this Saturday. Yep.
and grab your Mikefest tickets while you're trying to figure out what the rest
Yeah,
of your
it'll
summer
be our
plans
last
are.
show in Halifax before the festivals kick in. for
Oh,
the
really?
summer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a big one for people to catch now before the whole summer schedule gets everyone flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time, guys. And
Thank you.
we'll fade off into a song here, and hopefully everybody gets a chance to catch you live over the next couple months.
Sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, come to the festivals.
Absolutely. Thanks
All
a
right,
lot,
thanks,
guys.
man.
Bye.
At first there was Ziggy Stardust, then the spiders from Mars. Everything from hunky-dory opened my mind. So I bite down hard, praise God back star, return to the stars. He became the thin white dude, just cocaine and lies. He was cast